Hey everybody, this video is about the two camera arms here that I built. This was the first one I built. It's made out of 3/4 inch material. It's a little bit heavier duty to run the main camera. And then this is another camera arm. It's essentially the same, it's just thinner material. It's 1/2 inch material. And I built this one to be as light as possible. It was kind of a challenge to see how light I could build one. And it's set up for running just a cell phone or a small like handy cam style type camera. So I hope you enjoy the video. So these are some pictures of the original camera arm that I built. It's made out of 3/4 inch aluminum, and I made it with a Portaband, which is kind of like a portable bandsaw. It's used in the construction trade a lot. And a drill press. This was before I had the mill that I'm using on the second camera arm that I'm building in this video. So I just wanted to show you some pictures of the build process of this one before we get into the next one. So today I'm out in my buddy's shop here. I built this camera arm and it works really nice, but the one thing I didn't like about it is when I originally constructed it, I used 1/4 bolts in all the joints. And that was just enough flex, you know, where it could have some bounce to it. So I just chucked it up in the mill the other night and used it as a drill press and re-drilled this all to 3/8 bolts. So I got some nylon washers to put in between and some low profile 3/8 lock nuts to use on it. I'm going to be assembling that today. You can see that this isn't perfectly square. This has got a little bit of pitch on it. So what would happen is when I would turn it from this position to 180, the bolt would turn and the head would ride different and it would actually get tighter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back in. I'm going to put this in the mill and take an end mill to these surfaces and square up these ends, and that should fix that. With this project, the next one I'd like to do is I'd like to use the mill and make a smaller version of this arm yet that would work for just for holding a phone, for using your phone as your main camera. Alright, so here is putting the camera on the tree for the first time. I'm going to save you having to listen to all the wind noise. I'm playing this at 2 times the speed. But as you can see, what you do is you put the strap around the tree with that screw turned backed all the way out. And then you pull down on the arm and turn the screw in to where it's level. And that's creating extra tension. They really do go on pretty smooth. This one is kind of a little bit more difficult to mount because the tree is leaning in 2 directions here, and this is the back side of the lean. Plus the bark is pretty uneven in this area. It's got some dimples and stuff in it, but you kind of see it's the same process. And then you just mount the camera on and you're good to go.
Hey, no, no.
So this is the bubble, so the bubble level. It's just JB welded onto the top of there. So what I did is I put this arm in the vise, laid a torpedo level across the top there, and then glued that on and set that to level so that it matched what true level was. It's our bracket, so we got 3 points of contact. Now I took a video of me setting this, and so all you do is you put the strap on, you have this bolt backed all the way out, you put this up against the tree, you put this strap, you cinch the strap as tight as you can, and then you just turn this bolt out until you're trying to get the bubble in the middle of the circle, nothing to it. And it's really pretty easy. You can pull on the bottom to get your sides or on the top. I found it was a little easier on the bottom on this one. But yeah, it turned out pretty sweet. This is the same exact setup. Let me try to get this a little more. Yeah, so this is the exact same setup, just heavier duty. Same dimensions for the most part. Everything's the same length. The moment of truth, how much do they weigh? So this is the one that's made out of the 3/4 inch material that I made with the drill press and the bandsaw and stuff, with the friction camera head, the straps, the whole kit and caboodle without the camera. I suppose I gotta turn this on first. Zero it. .4, 3.5. So call it 3.5 pounds. The one that I made out of 1/2 inch material that I used the mill for, with the pivot head and the camera holder, the strap. Two pounds even. So that's pretty good. I'm pretty impressed by that. Okay, so there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about that you might have seen in the video and wondered, what the hell is that? What's he doing now? So one of the things is making this handle here. I made that out of this stuff called Instamorph. You can get it on Amazon. It's a pretty neat product. You just heat it up in water. It's these little white pieces of little white BBs. And you heat them up in water and they turn translucent And once they do, they just mold together really nice. It's kind of like working with a mixture of like clay and gummy worms. It's kind of a weird gooiness, but it doesn't, you know, it doesn't get too hot. You don't really burn your fingers or nothing, and it gets really hard. Supposedly you're able to drill and tap the stuff. I've never tried to do that, but I have used it now on this project, and I made a Tacticam mount for the barrel of a 20 gauge because I couldn't find anything that would fit tightly to it. And it works really good. It's really strong once it hardens. And it doesn't take long to harden. It's just as soon as it's cooled, it's hard. So that's that. And then for this one, you might have you see me making these rings, and these rings they're made out of Dyneema. It's a synthetic winch cable. It's a hollow core rope. That's how I was able to pull the ends back through itself once I made those Bremels. I believe you would call that a Lox Bremel. I'm not exactly sure what the definition of a Lox Bremel is, but I made a ring, and this stuff is super strong. Like this size here, I can't remember what diameter this is technically, but it's rated for I believe this one was 2,200 pounds. So it is as strong as its equal diameter winch cable. So it's pretty cool, and it's super light. It floats on water, so that's pretty light. So I wanted to get into a little bit why I decided to make this camera arm when I already made this original camera arm. And the answer to that is, when you're self-filming, it's really easy to fall in and out of it. It's a lot of work. You really gotta want to do it in order to do it. It'll kick your ass. It makes everything twice as hard. You get twice as much gear to pack in, twice as much gear to pack up, twice as much gear to set up in the tree and to be fumbling with when you're trying to hunt. And you know, so this year I really want to make a strong go of it. Last year I fell out of it towards the end. I got one buck kinda on video last year, and my second buck, my Wisconsin buck, I didn't get that on video at all this year, and it was kind of a bummer after the fact. But I didn't regret it at the moment. I just regret it a little bit in hindsight. So what I wanted to do was to make a camera arm that was as small and light as possible, but still function like a full-size camera arm, or at least a mid-sized camera arm. And so I wanted to make one that I could take with me on even like the crappiest days. You know, I'm going to be going through a swamp, or it's raining, or it's just a miserable day, and I don't want to take the camera that I'm recording on right now, or my other camera. I don't want to risk dropping them, you know, especially, you know, if you're crossing rivers. That's where it gets scary, because you never know when you're going to drop into a hole. So I wanted to make something that I could just take with me, throw in my pack, wouldn't even notice it, and I could just film with my phone, or this is just a little handy cam that I bought. Well, I'm 32 now, and I bought this thing when I was probably 17, something like that, when I first started trying to film. And this thing, I think I paid like $150 for it or something at that time. And really, for what I spent on, this is a great camera. Just a little Sony Handycam. It's got 60 power optical zoom. I don't believe that though, that it actually has 60 power in all optical. But you know, that's another thing. I can just throw that on there. And if it's a rainy, crappy day, or I'm worried about falling in the river, you know, if I drop this and it's smoke, that's not the end of the world to me. You know, I don't use it anyhow. But to drop the camera I'm recording on, or another camera, I can't afford to do that. So yeah, that was the motivation behind this, was just try to make a really small, lightweight cell phone type camera arm, and it is I'm very impressed by it. It actually could handle a mid-sized camera, like if you had like a Sony, like a AX53, something like that, this thing would handle just fine. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, See you on the next one.